be here any minute. He knows we're coming, but he doesn't know we're here already. So that's kind of fun. Hello!
Hi.
Are you ready to talk about your party room film from this past year?
Yeah, sure. Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh my gosh. What's up?
Not much, how are you?
Pretty
Happy
good.
February. Hi, Ellen.
Hi.
Wasn't expecting. How do you guys get in? I thought you guys were
You have a conspirator in your house.
Was it Luna?
It was Luna.
Was it you?
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Was it you?
Luna's so smart, she let us in the house.
Hi,
Sam.
so many puppies. Whoa. Lots of puppies.
Lots of puppies indeed.
Puppies?
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
We're all home.
How much? What a surprise.
Yeah, welcome to the
Let's go.
third year of the PRFFP.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Hosted by me this year because Jacob didn't want to do it this year. So
Jacob's lazy.
he's not
Nah,
lazy.
he's
He's
busy.
busy. Holy cow, he's busy.
busy.
He's putting so many miles under his belt. It's insane. Like he was in Denver like 2 days ago. Now he's in
Cincinnati right now. Yeah.
Like I can't. Like I've been to Denver a number of times, but I've flown over the last couple of years.
He had Skyline for the first time. I was excited for him to try that.
I'm not excited for anybody to try Skyline personally,
well.
but that's just me.
That's another conversation.
Do you want to have that conversation?
We don't have to.
We don't have to. Okay, Skyline.
That's
is
more of an Ellen conversation.
That is. We can leave that to Ellen. But just gonna say it here. Skyline is mid.
I disagree.
Okay, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
We're in America.
Yeah. See, this is good things happen on this version of the PRFF podcast.
Yeah, good things. Like
We disagree and we're okay with it.
I feel like Jacob's usually pretty okay with. No, he killed Andrew. Or
Yeah.
not Andrew.
I got
Aaron in
canceled.
the
I got canceled on
You
this
got
contest.
canceled. He keeps trying to get people to like pick fights with one another.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we don't need any more beef.
We're making friends. Yeah,
we
making friends and just agreeing to disagree here.
Yep. And that's why this year, as I'm doing it, I have time, usually, sometimes, not always, but I'm using this as an opportunity to try to visit all the guys this year.
It's such a good idea. I love it.
Yeah, do it in person because Zoom.
McGlone, you never put that much effort. Oh, sorry, there I go ruining the good vibes.
No, good vibes. Only
Good vibes
things.
only, yeah.
Only good things.
That's an awesome. I love what you're doing with the podcast. That's such a cool idea.
I'm so excited. So at this point, you'll be the second person.
Okay.
I did Tanner.
Nice.
That was
Okay.
a lot of
Nice.
fun. Yep. People will see that.
So did you surprise him too?
Yes, I did.
I guess we would have seen it by now.
Yeah, everybody will have seen it by now. But yeah, I called. I did some digging. He lists his place of work under his Facebook. So
Okay.
I called his church, got the receptionist, and was like, "Hey, you don't know me, but I'm a friend of Tanner's. Could you like give my number to his boss and have him call me? I'm trying to surprise Tanner with a thing."
Okay.
And luckily, churches are usually full of pretty good people who are fairly trusting. So she gave his boss my number. I did say that I was a friend from college. Asbury people usually, especially at churches, will recognize
Throwing
that.
the Asbury name around is a good.
It's helpful. Yeah,
That'll help.
And so his boss called me, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, so you don't know me, but you work with Tanner, and I'm going to assume that you have heard of the Party Room Film Festival." And he was like, "Oh yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah, he's probably been in some of the films, hasn't he?
his boss
Okay.
is the guy who does the backflip
Yeah. Okay.
on the shore of the Dead Sea
Yeah.
in his most recent film." So yeah, so that's his boss. And his boss is also the uncle to like a couple of the kids
Okay, cool.
that have been in the last couple of Tanner's movies. So he's like, "Oh yeah, no, oh dude, that'd be great." Like I told him about the podcast, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, we can make that happen. Is Wednesday good?"
That's
And so
cool.
he had another guy take Tanner to lunch. I drove Tanner. His church that he works at is like 2 hours from Columbus.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a drive, but it's not that bad. I just took time on my Wednesday, went out there, chatted with his boss for a second, got set up, and then Tanner comes up into the the studio booth that they use for worship, and I'm just there. And it was hilarious because like people have seen it by now, but like it's the same stare that he gives in Scared Shirtless, my film from like college. The like. he just like
classic
stopped
face.
and just stood and looked at me for a second. Was like,
what are you doing?
Why are you here?
Yeah. Podcast. That's so cool.
So no, that was a blast. If you haven't listened to it already, which probably most of you guys already have, go back and listen to it.
Yes.
You'll get to hear it in like 2 weeks now. First episode will air
excited.
at the end of this month.
2 weeks is now let me do my math. Is that 14 days? That's for you, Andrew.
Yeah, as we speak, he's having a beef with Andrew right now about whether or not the podcast is going to happen.
When am I not having a beef with Andrew on anything?
You are, constantly. So.
We even like,
so is Andrew your rival this year? Are we going to get that?
Well, I mean, Andrew was my rival last year because we were going up against each other.
Oh, that's true.
But I think we're probably always going to be rivals. You know, I mean, I've got 1 Golden Dewey win. He has 0. So I mean, like,
That's fair.
But you know, is it really a rivalry? Like when I've got more Golden Dewey wins than him? I don't know. Like it's not a level playing field.
Yeah, we are. So okay, you have 1 Golden Dewey win. Matt Stice has a Golden Dewey win.
Yeah.
Levi Symington has a Golden Dewey win.
Aaron Winterowski
has a Golden Dewey win. Is this? We're going into Party Room Festival 5.
PRV.
No, we need to stop that now. Perv. We're getting into perv or
Prove.
perv.
If you want, we're gonna call it
Perv. We're getting into perv.
That sounds so wrong.
Can you believe we've been doing this for 5 years?
5 years is crazy. 6 years if you want to count the COVID year when we just did all of our school projects. Those we refer to it as PRFF0 sometimes.
Yeah, PRFF0. But was that was before COVID? That was still in 2019.
That was during COVID.
Was it during the very first? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
it was during the very beginning of COVID.
Yeah,
and then it was later that. Because it was
later
like
that year
February.
was the first. Yeah,
it was like February or March. It was in the middle of like when everything was locked down.
I think it was
and then it was later that year that we did the first year because 2020 was the first.
I think it was like
festival.
I want to say it was like April that we did that.
Yeah, it was like
because
March or
then
April.
Andrew and Zach and Josiah floated the idea. It was like, hey, do you guys want to do this like every year? Okay, like here's some rules, you know. And then boom, there we go. And then 5 years later, we're still doing it.
And you were the inaugural winner.
I was. Yeah, that was such a cool night. Yeah, did not ever expect that to win or be as big of a hit as it has been.
It's
but
iconic.
But I love that everybody loves it so much because I love it, and like it was so much fun to make. And then seeing everybody love it as much as they do and like talk it up it's so cool.
Now, unfortunately, your sequel, this year's film, did not win a Golden Dewey.
That's okay. I got a mini Dewey.
You did get a mini Dewey for
it. What did they call them this year? They weren't Dewey Point Tuies because that was the year before.
Was it? I have no idea.
I don't remember what they were.
I can't remember. I wasn't there. I was unfortunately in Mexico.
That's true. Yeah.
But we watched it and it was amazing.
Yep.
Watching it live from Mexico. We had, unfortunately, we were with a couple friend of ours that lives in Mexico City. Unfortunately, one of them was sick, so she wasn't able to watch it with us. But her partner,
I'm glad you guys were still able to watch it.
He was like, "Oh, this is great." He loved all of it. He thought it was hilarious. He's into the he's into the campy, weird, stupid side of YouTube.
Yeah.
From when YouTube was first getting started. So he loves the stupid sketch comedy kind of.
I'm always really curious.
Films.
I'm always really curious if people that don't have any idea what we are with Party Room, if they just stumble across our channel and just watch the films.
I need to go through it and see if we have any comments on anything because that'd be hilarious.
Yeah,
if
that would be cool.
On anything,
somebody's had to stumble across something.
Oh, surely.
And dive into the rabbit hole. I mean, maybe not, but I'd like to think that someone has.
I'm just waiting for the time when somehow for some reason. Something from Party Room ends up going viral or something.
Yeah.
And ends up we'll see it mainstream somewhere, and that would be just hilarious.
That would be crazy. I also think that maybe the channel might be private, so maybe
the
nobody.
Channel's not no, it's public.
Is it public?
Yeah,
okay,
it's public. Everything
that's
on
private,
the Party Room Film Festival channel is public. Because I've sent the link to different people. My buddy. who was in my film this year, who played the computer-headed guy.
Yeah.
He posted it to his Facebook. Excuse me. At one point, and a bunch of other people watched it. I don't know that they watched any other films from the festival. But so getting back to what, so we've been doing this for 5 years, but when I was thinking about that, I realized I've known nearly all of you guys for 10 years.
10 years, yeah, wow. So half of our time knowing each other has been party room.
Yeah. We started college and we started at Asbury in fall of 2013.
2013.
So it's been more than 10 years now. That's insane. Like it'll be for a lot of the other guys like Zach and Josiah and Paul.
Yeah.
This fall will be 10 years with them. And
that's crazy to think about.
Right?
I mean, like I'm 30 years old. That's a whole third of my life has been with this group of guys. It's been awesome.
That's so cool, and the fact that we can like I'm so thankful to you, Andrew, Josiah, Zach, for putting this together. So that,
absolutely, yeah.
Like we can keep doing this, and I hope that we keep doing this because it's hilarious. My dad was in mine this year, and like he was like, "Yeah, I will do basically anything, like to help you guys keep this going. If you guys need a new location, come up to our farm in Cleveland. If you need like whatever, like, he's down to support it because he thinks it's such a cool thing that we're still doing it.
It is so cool." And like I was in touch with like Mitch a lot and like Andrew a lot and Stice a lot. Matt, sorry, I know you don't like being called Stice, but I just did. Like being able to like get back together with everybody, and even if it's just once a year, but like now we got the Discord chat. You know, we've got so much more going on. It's just been such an awesome thing to like really just bring that community back together.
Yeah. No, I love it, and when Heather and I realized last year that our friend's wedding was Labor Day weekend, and we weren't going to make it to Party Room Film Festival, we like she looked at me, she was like,
He's like, what do we do?
I kind of want to not go, but we were like, oh come on, how often do we get to go to like Mexico
for a wedding
for like 10 days and like, get shown around by locals and have a real Mexican wedding and stuff like that.
That is a hard choice, but like you said, that's a once in a lifetime thing.
So now but moving forward, we're like, we will schedule nothing over Labor Day weekend, like absolutely nothing. Like my parents' 40th wedding anniversary is this year. And they were talking about like, hey, we're going to throw a big party at the farm
for Labor Day weekend.
And they were like, what about Labor Day weekend? I was like, no,
that's what Party Room is.
Pick a different weekend.
Pick any different weekend.
Any other weekend we can do, but not Party Room weekend. So it'll be in August this
Labor Day weekend is always when college football starts. And so like, you know, that to me was like, okay, I'm going to go to UK's football game on Saturday. But now it's like, no, like Dad, my brother, Jake, like, I'm not going to the game this year. Like I'm going to Party Room. That's how much I mean. I miss football games to go to Party Room, and it's so worth it.
Oh, it absolutely is.
1 billion% worth it.
Oh, I'm mad that I didn't get to go this year.
Yeah, we missed you guys.
Yeah, it was. We're glad we could Skype in or watch the stream. Yeah. But it's definitely not the same as being there.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this year again. And that's also why I wanted to do it this way so that I could see everybody again and try to connect with everybody and catch up. So let's start with, it's been 10 years since we've known each other, which is insane. Yeah. How are you doing beyond Party Room? How are you doing? And you got a promotion this year.
I did,
last year.
Last year, yeah.
How's that been?
So it's been good. It's been very challenging.
Yeah.
It has been challenging, yeah. So it's definitely helped me grow leadership-wise.
Okay.
I've had to be a little bit more, what's the word? I'm not very good with words. Firm, yeah, firm's one way. I had to be a lot more decisive.
Okay.
I had to be a lot more confrontational, which is not easy for me.
Yeah,
that was one of the
teddy bear.
That was one of the things. Yeah, I am. That was one of the things that I was like, you know, the position I got now, it opened up several months before.
Yeah.
I ended up taking it, and I didn't apply because I was just so scared. I was like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I don't want to have to deal with these things. And then came open again, and I was just like, okay, like let's take that leap. Like everybody says that I'm ready for it, so like let's just do it. And it was hard at first, and it's still hard. It's still challenging, but the way that I've grown and it has been like much more than I ever thought I would.
Awesome.
So like I'm like it's still like nobody likes having bad conversations with people or being like, hey, you're not doing very good at this job. I just had to have that conversation with someone like 2 days ago.
Oof.
And they're horrible at the job. Like, what else am I supposed to say? Like, I just can't say that to their face, but I still had to be like, you're not meeting expectations.
Yeah.
And I had to have that conversation of like, is this a good fit for you? Like, we're not gonna. Well, we might fire them, but having that conversation of like, is this not working out for you? Do we need to look at other options for you?
Yeah.
Is this something that you can continue to do? Because we've done everything we can. So things like that is things I've grown more comfortable with. It's still not easy.
Yeah.
But a year ago, I would not have been able to do that with anybody. Now, I've gotten getting more integrated with the people, very similar to like what Party Room is and how I was in college. Like, I just love getting people together, getting to know them one-on-one. That's one of the things that I love about my job now is that I'm more like one-on-one with people too.
Okay, cool.
So even with those hard conversations, like there is times like when I'm just like, I can just chat with them about their work and just let them complain or talk about things that they're not good at or worried about. And seeing the people just grow comfortable with me as their supervisor has been very rewarding.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun. It's been hard. Today was a hard day.
Yeah.
But this week was pretty rough. But we got a really good group of people, and I love working with them.
That's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
The work's super boring. Well, it's not. Well, it's not super boring. I think it's interesting, but it's not for everybody. But I think I'm a pretty good fit at it.
Nice. Now, okay, so Party Room. You decided this year was the year to make a sequel to your Dewey winning film,
Yes.
Into the Bloodline.
Yes.
Into the Bloodline 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, one of my favorite jokes right there.
Yeah.
Into the Bloodline 2, Electric Boogaloo.
So
No balls, no glory.
No balls, no glory. What was the inspiration for this year's
So the
film?
inspiration, and Andrew's going to love this, the inspiration was because I was going up against Andrew.
Okay.
So I knew before that, okay, if I'm ever going to be paired up with Andrew, like, I want to go hard. And I was like, what a better way to go hard than an End of the Bloodline sequel going up against Andrew.
Yep.
And
revisit your
Exactly.
award-winning film already. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Like his film was great. What's the name of it? I honestly just drew a blank. I'm not even trash talking. Yeah, Pegged.
Pegged
was great. It was so
amazing.
good. Yeah, Sarah King, greatest Party Room performance of all
I cannot
time.
wait to talk to him about that
Yeah.
because I would never have expected some of those things to come out of Sarah's mouth.
Yeah, and Heather was great. In
Heather
that
was
too.
great. Oh,
Heather was
so excited
fantastic
to be a part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Pegged was so good. It definitely deserved the win over my film. But my motivation was definitely like, okay, like going up against Andrew, like you want to go hard.
Oh yeah.
Against anybody really. And so we got the rules video. Excuse me. We got the rules video a day early or whatnot. Mitch and Holly
On my birthday, actually.
Yeah, on your
That's when-
birthday. Mitch and Holly were actually here. And I can't remember who it was. Someone had sent a message to the chat and was like, oh, the Party Room, like the rules video just dropped. And we're like, no, it didn't.
It was
Was it?
so the council or Josiah decided to have Melissa leak it. So Josiah added Melissa to the chat for like 5 minutes so she could post the link. And so it wasn't
I didn't know
released
that.
by the council. It
I
was
didn't know
leaked
that.
by
Okay.
Melissa.
Okay,
An
see
inside
that's very accurate for our time because like that's how everything comes out now is leaks.
Yeah.
But so we were sitting here watching the rules video. We were getting all pumped up. We probably watched it like 5 or 6 times.
It was so good.
And whatnot. And
I do not know how you're going to top that. Now, football season ends on Sunday, so you better be on it because I'm expecting more.
He's probably going to top it. I mean, let's be real. But it was an awesome video release. The blood was pumping high.
Yep.
I was like, okay, I'm going up against Andrew. What was my theme? My theme was training montage.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I just had the idea in my head. It's like, okay, like I'm going up against Andrew. Like I've wanted to do like End of the Bloodline 2 when I go up against him. And I was like, training montage, what can I do? And then I didn't really I had some of an idea for it already. But up until that day, I didn't really have like a full fledged out story.
Yeah.
But then when I got the theme of training montage, I was like, okay, perfect. Like Sam from Into the Bloodline is training to get something back, you know? So the
His
idea
moxie.
is, yeah, his moxie or balls. I don't know. So, I mean, yeah, balls. His courage.
I forgot about that. We just watched it. Before doing the podcast, and I completely forgot about that part. Zach delivered that so well.
Oh, Zach was perfect. It was. I mean, we probably did that like 5 or 6 times, just cracking up when we were filming that part.
So Zach wasn't your talent though, because he was my talent last year.
He was not. Matt Stice was my talent.
Was it your talent? Okay. Yeah. So you just had Matt
so
again.
it even worked. Easy. Was he my talent? Yeah, because it was me and then Zach. And then Matt was in it, and then Ellen and Heather, and yeah. So Matt was my assigned talent this year. I don't know why I'm not remembering this, but
it's been.
And that was also another thing that just made it perfect. I was like, Matt's my assigned actor, Dr. Von Stice, boom. So it all just kind of
award-winning role.
Yeah, it all just kind of lined up on the day of the video release, and I was like, all right, End of the Bloodline 2, let's go.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you for revisiting that.
Yeah.
It was clever. It was funny. I get also why you did that, because you can throw in, with the training montage especially, you can throw in the Rocky soundtrack, which is one of Andrew's favorite films.
Exactly, yeah. And I was like, okay, like, when I was filming it, I was like, this is going to be so hard for Andrew to not vote for. Because, like, he's going to vote for himself. Everybody votes for themselves. If you're not voting for your own film, what are you doing? Vote for your own film.
I don't always vote for my own film.
What are you doing? Vote for your own film, Cody.
I'm voting for the films that I really like.
You should vote
for Pegged.
Well, I mean, in the head-to-head matchup, you should at least vote for
in the head-to-head. Yeah, I'm always going to vote myself.
Yeah, in the head-to-head matchup, vote for your own film.
Unless I think
in any other category,
I haven't yet been up against a film that I thought was actually thought was better than mine.
Yeah,
I like my films usually.
Yeah.
But if had I been up against Pegged, and a head to head, I probably would have voted Pegged.
Yeah,
because I thought Pegged was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, no, Pegged was great. I thought I did it as good as anybody could have done against Pegged.
I
can't remember what the vote. I think the margin.
Just watching it again, like you had a cohesive story. Mm-hmm. It made sense. You filled the requirement of the training montage. You hit all of the like classic like tropes within a training montage. The crane kick from Karate Kid. You've got the Rocky.
Yeah.
You didn't have any stairs. You should have found some stairs.
Yeah. So that's a good idea. So I gotta say this because Andrew would get mad if I didn't mention it. So apparently Rocky doesn't actually train to Eye of the Tiger in any of the movies. So
no, he doesn't.
Eye of the Tiger is the opening to Rocky 2, which I've only seen those movies a few times. I've seen 4. I've seen 4 multiple times because 4 is the best. Yeah, just Rocky shout out. This is gonna be Andrew's favorite podcast, by the way. I'm talking about how his film was better than mine. I'm talking about how awesome Rocky is. So yeah, you're welcome, Andrew. But I was like, I think everybody associates Eye of the Tiger with Rocky and training.
It's been used so many times in different training montages for different things.
But I also think, even though it's not the quintessential training song for Rocky, if you go back and watch it again, so I'm really proud of this actually. So not only does like the beats of the music actually, like I did my best to line that up with the movements and stuff and the hits.
You did that really well.
And then,
I noticed that.
And then the lyrics as well.
Your editing coincided with the music. Like you were editing on beat. Some of your movements were on beat. Like you did a really good job with that.
The lyrics even kind of lined up with like some of the thought process and like the whole like some blah 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 about the things of the past, and like that's when he has like the memories and whatnot. And so like I was like really proud of that whole sequence because
there's a lot more.
It was a lot of fun to put together.
Than I realized.
Yeah, like the beats, the thought, and the lyrics, and the visuals that you're seeing. Most of it lines up together.
Why the burger grilling?
Because me and Zach were hungry.
Okay.
And we just needed something to eat.
Did you each eat like 3 burgers?
Did we eat 3 burgers?
Or did you give some to his parents?
I don't think we ate. I think we may have eaten 2 each.
Okay.
But yeah, that was what we were just going to eat. Because I had the idea. I texted Zach. I was like, all right, like, here's my idea for the training montage. We're going to do all these manly things. We're going to chop wood. I'm going to run. I'm going to do push-ups. We're going to do...
the crane kick.
Well, that was Zach. The crane kick was Zach's idea.
Of course.
If you can tell, because like I obviously was not very good at it, but
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Because you did it poorly the first time, and then you got it on the second one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
the training works.
Yes, that was the whole. I mean, that's the whole idea of a training montage. Is you're not very good at first, but then you start getting better.
Absolutely.
I mean, I went from doing 1 push-up to doing infinity push-ups. I mean, how much better of a training montage can you get?
You can't.
But another thing, I was like,
How long did infinity push-ups take you?
It was. I'm pretty sure I did like 2 or 3 push-ups that whole day. So there was, I think maybe only 2 because I only really did 1 push-up for each angle. Maybe I think I may have done 2 or 3.
Okay.
But yeah, that was 1 push-up. If you couldn't tell, I was not.
It was infinity push-ups just in the amount of time.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
one, and the way they all stacked on top of each other, the way you moved so fast. It just
Yeah.
looks
The other push-ups were done off camera because there was so many of them.
They're
Yeah.
in between the frames of the video.
Yeah. Well, it can only be an 8-minute.
Yeah.
3 seconds, 69 frame video, so
Yeah.
I can't fit all the push-ups in there.
Yep.
But yeah, so I had the idea of like, we came up with the idea of like all the manly things that we could do as training, and then cooking burgers was one of them because
sense.
and me and Zach are both burger guys. We were like, let's
They
just make
looked
some
really
burgers.
good, too.
They were really good. Yeah, they were really good, and that grill was super hot.
Nice.
Like it was a really hot day.
It looks like it.
Like I was that running. So one of the running shots is like the first things that we did, and it was probably like, what was it? It was like middle of July, and it was maybe like 85 degrees in the morning, and it was hot. And we had just eaten like bacon and eggs and toast, and I'm out here doing running, and it's the only exercise I've done in like years, probably the most running I've done in a long time. And we had to take like a 2-hour break because after that I was like Zach, like I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
No.
I was hot and I was full of breakfast, and like we just had to go sit down and cool down, and man, it was rough. It was rough, but it was a lot of fun.
You did a great job, and the movie turned out great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
And you as usual had a lovely co-star.
I did. Yeah, Ellen.
How willing was Ellen to reprise her role?
Oh, Ellen was willing. So I've got a surprise for you.
Okay.
And this is a surprise for almost everybody because some people know, but not everybody does. So let me tell you just how willing Ellen was to be in this film.
Okay.
So what I have here is the original script for Into the Bloodline 2.
Okay.
And half of this script was cut.
Okay.
So let me see. So the first half of it is pretty much everything that happened in the first half of the film.
Yep.
I'm at Zach's. We see Dr. Von Stice on the TV.
Yep.
Sam gets mad, whatnot. He's got to do his training montage and go face Dr. Von Stice. So here's what happens after all that. So the training montage has ended.
Okay.
This was what the original ending of Into the Bloodline 2 is going to be.
Okay.
I'm just going to read the script here.
Go for it.
All right. Sam takes
picture in
yes.
your mind. Just use your mind palace and go.
So before I continue, I'll talk a little bit after this, but Zach and Josiah and Matt already know what's coming,
Okay.
but nobody else does. Mitch might know, but so here we go. So Sam takes a deep breath as he approaches a house. He knocks on the door. Dr. Von Stice answers. He has his signature pizza cutter in hand. Dr. Von Stice, Mr. Maddox, I've been expecting you. Come on in. We're having pizza. Sam is thrown off by the generosity and walks into the home. Dr. Von Stice, honey, we've got company. Ellen comes out of the kitchen with a smile on her face. Ellen, welcome. Ellen and Sam meet eyes. Sam looks down, pan down on Ellen. She is very pregnant. Sam is in disbelief and shocked to the point where he can barely move. Sam, is that his? Dr. Von Stice, why, yes. Actually, if you think about it in a twisted way, he's yours too. Sam, I'm having a son. Dr. Von Seiss, well, let's not get confused. He's my son, but I couldn't have done it without your help. This enrages Sam, and he attacks Dr. Von Seiss. They wrestle. I know, this is ridiculous. Ellen, no, stop! Wet water sound. Ellen looks down. Her water broke. Ellen, oh my gosh, not right now. Ellen runs off screen. Sam and Dr. Von Seiss continue their battle. Sam knocks out the doctor and knocks the pizza cutter as it flies across the floor. Sam is furious. He hears a scream from the back of the house. Sam goes into the bathroom where Ellen is on the floor giving birth. Ellen, help me! Help! Sam's thinking of what to do. He picks up the plunger and off screen begins pulling the baby out with the plunger. Sam rises with the baby in hand in utter disbelief that he is holding his child. Ellen's catching her breath. Let me hold him. Give me the baby. There's a pause. Sam, you left me for that monster after all that happened? You both took something from me. Now I'm taking something from you. And Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses starts playing. Sam takes the baby. Ellen is crying. Sam walks out of the house and out the door. Credits roll. That, my friends, was the original ending to Into the Bloodline 2. Ellen was going to be pregnant with Dr. Von Seiss's baby, a.k.a. Sam's baby. Sam and Dr. Von Seiss were going to get in a battle. Ellen was going to have the baby, and Sam was going to steal the baby. That was my original ending. And Ellen, talking about how willing she was, she was going to do it.
Really?
She was going to do it. She was uncomfortable with it, but she was going to do it.
I'm so mad we didn't get that version.
I know.
So here's where I'm at. That version follows the like spirit of Into the Bloodline.
It very much does.
Very well.
Yes, it very much does.
It's definitely like I am amazed that Ellen would have been willing.
I was too. I came up with the idea. I had her read it, and she was sitting right over there, and she was like, I mean, if this is what you want to do, I'm in. She was like, I'm uncomfortable, but I'll do it for you.
Marry that girl.
Yes, I should. I should marry her. No, she's the best.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
That had me rolling.
I was so proud of that. I showed it to Matt Stice one day, and he was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever read in my life.
So why didn't you? Why'd you go the other route? Did you just decide you wanted a more wholesome ending?
So I started to feel, the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, okay, like this is not appropriate for Party Room Film Festival. I mean, you're thinking about you're thinking about kidnapping a baby and taking a baby from a pregnant woman.
And then
we also had
it's problematic to be sure.
Yeah, and then I also thought about Mitch and Holly are going to have a baby. We knew at the time that Paul and Riley were having a baby.
Yep.
And I was like, is this really something that I want to put out there for like everyone to see when we've got two of the wives are pregnant?
Yep,
and is this something that I want them to watch? And yeah, it would have been hilarious. I think the guys would have loved it. But thinking about all that, and the film festival is for the guys, but the wives are part of it too. And there's other people that watch, and like at the spirit of who we are, like the spirit of who we are as friends and guys, like something like that's not what we should be making.
I think that's very mature and that's very fair.
So I started having those feelings, and I sent my script to Josiah and Zach. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to send it to Andrew because like I was going up against him. I didn't want him to know anything of what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I sent it to Josiah and Zach, and I was like, hey guys, like, so here's my idea for my film. I was like, I'm feeling pretty questionable about it. I was like, I don't know if this is appropriate.
Understandably
I was like,
so.
2/3 of the council, like, I want to get what you guys think, because if you guys don't think I should do this, then I won't. I'll change it.
That's better, because like this year, had you done that, there might be a Sam Maddox rule.
There may have been a rule come after me, yeah. So Zach calls me, and he's like, you can imagine what Zach, he was like, Sam, do not change anything. You have to do this. This is so funny. You are not changing anything. Why would you want to change it? And I told him why, and he was like, no, don't change it. And I was like, okay, Zach. Like, you know, I respect Zach's opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I think Zach also.
I don't think anyone in the group
Yeah.
would disrespect Zach's opinion at all.
Zach also respected where I was coming from, and then I had a much more constructive conversation with Josiah. So,
As expected.
Yeah. So if you like the original idea better, you can blame Josiah, because Josiah is the big reason why I changed it. I think I probably would have changed it anyway, because if I was feeling uncomfortable about it.
Yeah.
And the big reason, like, too, like, if Ellen's uncomfortable, like, if she's not comfortable with it, like, it's probably not something I should do anyway. Yeah. So that should have been my first sign. I didn't take it, but here we are now. It all ended well. So I had a good conversation with Josiah, and he said some of the same things that I just said, like, is this really something that you want out there? Like, the impression of Dr. Von Seiss impregnating Ellen, like, in the movie, like, we all know it's not real.
It's not real,
but but is it something that you?
Technically, it had been like what, 2 years or something. So like, it's not unrealistic that they would have gotten married or what.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
So, but he was like, is that really something, like, in reality that you guys want out there? Like, even though it's fake and it's fun,
Yeah, it's fun.
It's all for fun. It's not serious. But I was like, yeah, like, that's good. All good points. And then he gave me the idea of, like, you know, what would it look like for Sam to become, you know, what would this look like to be more wholesome? What would it look like for Sam to be more of a redemption than anything else? So that really got me thinking. And then after that, I kind of went back and forth. I actually really struggled to change the ending a lot. It was pretty hard to figure out what that looked like for it to be more redemptive. Especially with, you know, not only is Sam being redeemed, but Ellen is also being redeemed as well. Mm-hmm. So it took me a really long time this was July. So, like, it wasn't that long, because I had to get this film submitted by August, which I did. Yeah. But it maybe took me like 4 or 5 days to really, like, pan out what the actual, like, ending finally ended up being. Yeah. I had some conversation with Josiah back and forth, like, okay, like, here's what I'm thinking. You know, how does this sound? What do you think? And he was like, no, I think that's good. Like, I think, you know, keep working in that direction. And then I finally got the idea of, like, okay, like, what if, you know, Sam and Ellen, like, get, you know, not, like, get back together, but what if Sam, it's not about just him getting revenge on Dr. Von Seiss, but he's also, like, trying to win back his manhood. And I was like, okay,
charge of himself
that is something. I was like, that is something that is redemptive. Mm-hmm. And then I was also thinking about Zach's film the previous year with Kill Happy. Yeah. Where, you know, you got this great crazy film where a guy's trying to kill his grandmother's trying to kill him. You got Tanner on the other side that's, like, trying to balance both of them. But then at the very end, it hits you with that little emotional beat of Tanner's like, yeah, like, I'm
the best at this.
Like, I'm the best at this, but I hate it. Yeah. I was like, okay, like, so Party Room, you can win. You can do really well with, his, like, Kill Happy's funny. Like, I'm not saying it's not funny.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But you can do well, and the audience will receive it well if you've got some emotional weight to it. And I was like, okay, so, like, yeah, like, I'm confident in my writing. My writing's going to be funny no matter what I do. And I was like, okay, like, am I going to be able to blend in this emotional beat into it? So I thought about, like, okay, Sam's going to redeem himself against Dr. Von Seiss, but first, it's not going to be about redeeming himself to Dr. Von Seiss. It's going to be redeeming himself to Ellen first. And that whole, like, facing her and being like, okay, like, I've learned what being a man is, and I thought that you took that from me, but I found it for myself. Yeah. That was the redemptive side to it. And then Ellen going to help him and be by his side is kind of redemption for her too, to see that she's not the shallow person that she was in the first one.
You realize that Sam's character arc throughout the second one is very reminiscent of Ken's from the Barbie movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he found out that Sam was enough.
Oh my gosh.
Sam was enough of a man himself. He
Is
didn't need the balls.
Is Into the Bloodline 2 Barbie?
It's just Barbie.
It's just Barbie.
It's just Barbie all the way down.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? That's crazy. And you know who else doesn't have balls? Ken.
No, he doesn't.
So-
It's smooth.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. So, yeah, that's amazing.
You came to the same conclusion as an Oscar-nominated film.
Wow. See, and I didn't win a Golden Dewey. Wow, that's amazing.
Amazing.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. That is pretty much like almost the same.
Yeah,
almost the same thing.
Yeah, being a man isn't about the balls you've got. It's about being
It's
enough.
about- yeah, it's
you
about-
can find enough. You can
Exactly.
find. You can be solid in who you are
Exactly.
beyond anything exterior.
Yeah.
and that's more manly than
Yeah.
a flashy car or balls or
Exactly.
a pretty girl.
Yeah. And of course, Ellen is very pretty.
Oh,
too.
Ellen's
Yeah,
amazing.
She's gorgeous.
Lovely.
So yeah. So no, I think
I honestly said that as a joke, but after we talked about it,
Actually,
just now,
no,
like,
it actually really
it's pretty
does.
much
Yeah, it actually
is a
does
very
pretty much
parallel.
pairs right along with it. But yeah, that was my original ending for Into the Bloodline.
I
Would it have won a Golden Dewey? I
might
don't know.
have. It
It would have brought down the house. I know that for sure.
Yep.
But I gotta say, it was also a challenge for me as a director not to just go for the most funny thing possible.
the low hanging fruit, like
Yeah.
I mean, now I would argue that is far more creative of a direction to take a sequel to Into the Bloodline that I would have ever imagined.
What the original?
The original writing.
Yeah.
With the Von Steich pregnancy and it being yours.
See, that was always like part of my original idea.
That takes it all and just that's a hard left turn.
Yeah.
And
Like I was fully prepared for Sam to be like the biggest like party room villain of all time. Like what other party room person has taken a baby from a pregnant woman?
that's fair.
Yeah.
And it would have been hilarious. Like absolutely. I mean,
But I gotta say, like I'm really proud of how it turned out.
it turned out beautifully. It turned out to be an incredible film.
I didn't think that I never really thought that I could make a film like that where it's like funny and also like it has some emotional weight to it.
Yeah, no, I think you wrote it very well.
My first 3 years, it was all like funny stuff. But this one, it was a little different. It had that emotional baggage to it. And all the guys at I won the best sequel award over Tanner with Chronicles of Light Book 5 and Rotten Roommate Bad Dog.
Yep. Which is a feat because that also was
those were both great sequels.
Yeah, and you were up against another with Aaron. You were up against another
Golden Dewey
sequel to a Golden Dewey winning film.
Yeah, and I mean Chronicles of Light was Tanner's Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
So I mean Empire Strikes Back is one of the greatest movies of all time.
It's such a good movie.
I love the Chronicles of Light series.
It was so
good.
much fun talking to him. And he's. I mean, everyone will hear the podcast by now, so it's no surprise that he's working. He's got the third one planned out.
Yeah.
And we talked about that, and he's
so
planning on just
exciting.
doing the 3 for right now.
Okay.
But he in confidence, he told me about another idea he had,
Ooh. Okay.
and I think it'll be amazing.
Oh, I can't wait.
I think it'll be so
can't
funny.
wait.
It'll probably be the following year, as long as like a rules, like some of the rules in 25 doesn't like impede him making it. But it's loose enough that I don't think there would be anything significant that could really impede it.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I want him to do it so hard because I would not expect something so meta to come out of Tanner.
Okay.
Tanner's a very straightforward person most of the time, right?
Yeah.
His idea is more on like the meta joke kind of idea, and I'm so excited for it.
Nice.
I think it'll be hilarious.
That's epic.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Tanner did a great job with his sequel. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, the sequels are really good, and that was a really good idea to for the council to make a best sequel vote. I'm not just saying that because I won. I am a little bit saying that because I won. But
Do you think that because your sequel to your Golden Dewey winning film was voted better than Aaron's sequel to his Golden Dewey film,
is my franchise the better
your
franchise?
franchise is the better franchise?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'll have to get Aaron's opinion
yeah.
on that when I interview him.
Yeah. I mean, he'll probably agree with me. I don't know. He might. I mean, they're both great franchises.
Yeah.
But no, it was cool. Like we both went in very different directions with our sequels. Because the direction that Aaron went with Bad Dog was kind of along the lines of, at least theme wise, of like what I was going with originally for End of the Bloodline 2. It was a very dark turn. But yeah, it was cool.
Bad Dog was so good,
and I
love seeing Chuckles.
Yeah,
all the
Chuckles
time.
is great. You gotta love the party room dogs. But back to the night of the film festival.
Yeah,
it meant so much to me to have like all the guys like. It's one thing to like you make. I mean, you know this. Like you make your film, and you know how you feel about it, and you know like what you're going for with it. And so I was going for like that emotional hit and whatnot. And to hear like pretty much everybody say like, "Wow, like that film got me." Like that emotional hit that you got there was like, man, like that was so good. And like just hearing that from everybody, I was like, that's exactly what I was going for. And to know that came across to everybody was incredibly rewarding. Like I wouldn't have even cared if I didn't win the best sequel award.
Yeah.
Because hearing what the direction I was going for came across to everybody was awesome. And big confidence booster for me because like I know I can write a script, but everything else, like the shooting and the editing, like I'm not so good at.
Yeah.
So knowing that I had like that extra little thing in there that I tried and I succeeded at it was really meaningful to me to hear that everybody liked it so much.
Yeah, really well done. Now I know. So speaking out of the future.
Let's talk about the future.
This year you were not writing your own script.
Yeah.
Because you lost a bet.
I did lose a bet. It was a stupid bet.
It was a stupid
After
bet.
looking back at it, I'm just like, why did I make...
I was really hesitant to take it because like there was... I was fairly certain that I was right.
Yeah. I was
also
certain that I was right
of the
too.
idea of like, Sam would write a good script, but the thing is, it would be very different than anything I would make.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even know what I would have written for you to do.
Exactly.
I honestly,
So
if
I
I'm
was
being
really
totally
hesitant
honest,
to like actually say, yeah, I'll agree to the terms.
Yeah.
But I did, and you lost, and so I get to write your script.
Yep, that should be fun.
I'm so excited. Andrew knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Tanner knows what it is.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I told Tanner about it when we. It's not on the podcast, but after.
Are you going to tell everybody about it? Because then everybody will just know what's coming.
No, I probably won't tell everybody. I told Tanner because I don't know. I was excited.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'll tell everybody else.
You want to tell me a little bit about it? You want to give me like a little sneak peek?
You will have to make a moral choice in regards to a certain facet of the film.
Okay.
And Andrew and I are both really curious to see the choice you make.
Okay. A moral choice.
Yep.
Well, we'll see what predicament I'm put in.
Yep.
And we'll see where that goes from there.
Yep. I will give you the spoiler that the moral choice involves your wife.
Oh, boy. So it's similar to what I had to deal with last year.
I will say it is not that degree of a moral choice. It will be. It's the kind of decision that would be hard for you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard for me.
Okay. Would it be hard for her?
Probably not.
Okay. We'll see. I'm probably gonna.
By saying moral, you might consider it moral. An average person would not consider it to be really a moral or ethical dilemma. It is not an ethical dilemma.
Okay.
But it will be a dilemma for you.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with ethics or anything like that. So
Okay.
it's not like I'm asking you to do anything
that I would not want to do.
Exactly. Oh, you won't want to do it.
Okay.
But by no outside standard is it
Is it bad?
ethically or morally wrong.
Okay. We'll see where we go.
But you won't like it.
That's super exciting.
Yep.
I'm glad that you guys hopefully know me well enough to put me in an uncomfortable position.
Oh, you'll be in an uncomfortable position.
And I will do my best to go as hard with it as I possibly can.
I really want you to because
Yeah.
it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I mean, I'm the type of guy, like, after I had my surgery in college, I got up on a chair and, like, all the guys on the hall surrounded me and I just showed them.
Yep.
Because they want to see it. So,
I
like,
remember.
yeah, it's like.
I was there.
I like to think of myself as a man that can't be embarrassed by anything. So, this may not be an embarrassing thing, but I feel like.
I don't know.
I feel like. I'm not sure. I feel like I would do so much and that I would, like, share so much that I'm not really sure, like, what the line is for me to where I'd be like, because, like, and obviously some things, like, there's some, like, actual moral things where I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not going to do that. But
No one. It's
Okay.
it's by no means the thing that the kind of thing that would get you kicked out of a church or like
good.
make you lose your job or like no. It's in no way like an ethical or moral
I'm interested
complication. It's something specifically to you that is
Okay.
something that you will not like, and you will not like either of the choices, but you have to make one.
okay. I'm interested to see what it is now.
I'm so excited
because that'll just tell me how much you guys know me.
Yep. And it'll be.
So am I going to have, like, I think we may have already talked about, like, this in the Discord, but, like, am I going to have to do it, like, verbatim, or is there going to be parts where I have, like, creative liberty to do some things?
I mean, you'll have.
I mean, obviously, like, with the moral choice or whatever, like, I'll have to make one
You'll
decision.
have to make a decision. And I mean, obviously, like.
I'll stay true. I'll stay as true to the script as possible.
Stay as true to the script as you can. Like, I mean, obviously, you have decisions as far as like the locations you use and like exactly how you like the different things that you can do to actually like what's the word for it execute the script itself. But like it'll be very clear. It's not going to be ambiguous.
Yeah.
It'll be written out well. It'll be
Okay.
it'll be clear for how you're going to need to proceed.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought like we were talking earlier when we were eating dinner. I thought at first like, oh, this is gonna be super easy. Like I'm not gonna have to write my own script. Like Cody's gonna write the script for me and then I shoot it.
Yeah.
But the script part is where I do my best work at is writing my script. So now I'm just interested to see what you're coming up with.
Well, hopefully my writing will be up to your standard. There's already a couple of jokes in it that I showed. I sent to Andrew. Like a rough outline with a couple of jokes in it, and he was dying.
Okay.
So I'm incredibly excited about it.
You're a good writer. I mean, like all your party room things. Procrastination was funny.
I enjoyed procrastination.
Your other two like weren't intended to be funny, but you are a very funny writer.
Thank you.
I will give you that.
I'm excited for it. I think it'll give me an opportunity to stretch that side of my my creativity a little bit more.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in a more. I mean, with my last two films, it's been a little bit more existential kind of ideas around different things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now for this year.
I mean, I can still write you a script if you want me to.
Maybe we'll just do.
We can just trade scripts. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
Honestly, like you were going back, you weren't really sure like what you were going to write for me. I didn't really have an idea of what I was going to write for you, or at least not like a full coherent idea. But I knew that what I was going to do was just, it was not going to make any sense. Okay. I was just going to make you do like the weirdest stuff, say like dialogue that like wasn't like really in response to one another.
Yeah.
Like it was just going to be an all over the place mess that I was going to make you do. Like, I don't even know. I just lost. There's some movie that's kind of just like all over the place that I was gonna make you do,
like Memento or something.
Yeah, where just none of it makes sense. This is all wacky and crazy. I was just gonna be like, Cody, here's the script. Have fun with it. It was not gonna make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It was like you can be as creative as you want with it, but like this is the plot.
Yeah,
and like you have to like no change of the dialogue or whatever. I don't know, but I wasn't gonna give you anything like good. If I'm being honest.
That hurts when I'm going to hand you the next Golden Dewey winning script.
Well, if I do win the Golden Dewey, I'll put your name on there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, people hearing this right now will be surprised because in last week's episode that they'll hear, which I recorded like several weeks ago at this point, I had a very clear idea for what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Ohio's weather decided to become warm and melt all the snow. And I was going to shoot like...
Well, did you think that there was going to be snow in June and July in Ohio?
No, I was going to shoot like a couple of small clips that was going to like be the opening like scene of my film at my parents' place, like in a blizzard was my plan, and shoot like a couple of things ahead of time.
Wouldn't that break the rules though? Isn't the shooting period June 1st to...
So I think that it would be in the spirit of the rules, personally. Andrew said that it was somewhat in the spirit of the rules.
Somewhat in the spirit of the rules.
And the argument is kind of like that it's similar to like if you needed to use stock footage or
that's fair.
Like are other like minor exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
Like for example,
so long as you're not doing like
Tanner
a majority
admitted in our podcast that he's using in this coming up year, he's using some footage that he recorded last year.
Okay. That's fine.
So
I technically used footage in my in the Bloodline too that was from year one.
Yeah.
So
I
can be on board with that.
I think like this. It was going to be an insignificant as far as time.
Yeah.
More significant to the story. And like the setting was important, and so like that's why I wanted to do it. Like it would be really less than 30 seconds of the film, but it would set up the story in a significant.
It would be really hard to shoot a significant portion of your film outside of the filming period, not knowing the rules.
Exactly. So it would have been just a very minor part of it that would like.
Well, plus that also just makes it hard to like if we are always doing summer time, then like we can't do
do anything variety.
Yeah,
it's hard to have much variety to something. Like now you can try to be really creative with like green screen or something like that. And we have.
Which by the way, I have a green screen now.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna play with that.
Yeah.
So my follow-up question. So we talked a little bit about this coming year and the fact that I'm writing your script for you. Yeah. I'm very excited. Andrew's excited. Tanner thought the idea was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it.
And
I want to see it now.
I can't wait for you to.
I guess I'm not getting it until June 1st.
You're not getting it until June 1st.
Okay.
Or I think we said the first, like within the first week of June. I'll make sure you have it. I've got a long plane ride later this month, so I'll try to write some of it on the plane.
I have so many questions. Like I just want to know like.
I'll let you ask one question and I might answer it.
Oh my gosh. One question, any question.
Any question.
And you might answer.
And I might answer.
You might answer. Oh, this is gotta be a good question. What's the thing? Let's see. One question that I can ask. Am I gonna have to have a big cast?
That's one of those things, like realistically you have the creative choice.
Okay.
I think that it lends itself to as many people as you can get on board.
Oh, so it would be better if I had a big cast.
It would be better if you had a big cast.
Okay. I don't like working with big casts.
Now, like, that's primarily for, like, I will say there's not very many significant speaking roles.
Okay.
It's more that, like, it'll fill out the kind of, like, the feel of it, the environment of it. Hello, small dog.
Whoa, so many dogs.
Hi.
There will probably be a puppy or two in the cast.
That's perfectly fine. Yeah, dogs are welcome. Yeah, were you guys outside?
Hi, Luna. Yeah, they feel a little cold.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
I was going to drive them off.
Oh, you're fine.
I didn't want to walk in.
Oh, is it raining? We got wet dogs on our lips. Oh.
Sorry if we interrupted.
No, you're fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
This is a special appearance by Heather and Ellen and Kage and Luna.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what you've come up with for me this year, and do my best to make it come to life.
I'm so excited, and I really like I am willing to help as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like if that's securing locations for you, if like whatever, because I want to see it succeed.
Yeah. I even have like I think I was telling Heather last year, like I even have some like other film ideas that like involve you and Heather being in it.
Nice.
So I wouldn't be able to do it, not my ideas this year, but one year we'll get to them. Yeah, I know.
So, but my follow-up question was going to be, he's fine, he's chewing on time.
Okay.
So will there be a End of the Bloodline 3? Do you have any indication that might be a thing, or is this the end of the series? Are you going to be a responsible creator and not let the studio push you into making a third film that doesn't exist, shouldn't exist?
I currently have no plans of making End of the Bloodline Part 3.
Okay.
I don't really see where else the story could go. Dr. Von Seiss is dead, if you didn't catch that in the film. I kneed him in the balls so hard that he died.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, so Dr. Von Seiss is dead. Now, does someone want to raise him from the dead? I don't know. But no.
Into the Bloodline 3. Necromancy.
I think Into the Bloodline may be at its end. And I think I'm pretty satisfied. Well, I think not pretty satisfied. I'm very satisfied with how it ended. Yeah. There's really nowhere else to go with it. I mean, like, maybe there's a story where like Sam and Ellen like have a child together, but like, well, I mean, I guess that can't really happen because, you know, maybe there's other scientific ways that it could theoretically happen. They could adopt or something. I don't know.
Go and find a wizard to
yeah, maybe Chronicles of Light and the Bloodline can have a crossover where the wizards help. No, I don't really see any other story going along with it. I think it's a good ending where it was, and I think it's time to put it to bed.
I think that's perfectly fair.
Yeah, I'm pretty, like I said, I was very, very happy with how the second one turned out. Now, if I had gone with my original idea, then there probably would be a third one at some point.
That makes sense. The original script for Into the Bloodline 2 that you just shared with me does leave it open for follow-up. Probably, I would imagine that one is Ellen getting revenge and stealing the baby back or something like that.
Or like the baby, like...
the child being older or something
or like the baby, like, killing me or something like that. I don't know. There actually was another, like... There was another idea that was somewhat not all the way there, but it involved... it still involved, like, Sam coming to Dr. Von Seiss's house, and somehow, like, Ellen... And this is why I didn't go with it, because there's somehow that Ellen was going to know that Sam was going to Dr. Von Seiss's house and came over to help him. But Dr. Von Seiss is going to have Sam like down on the ground. He's going to have the pizza cutter in his hand and like raise it up. Then Ellen was going to steal the pizza cutter from his hand and then like slice Dr. Von Seiss's head off with the classic line of Dr. Von Slice. But I couldn't really figure out how to get it to where, you know, she had the, like, knew that Sam was going to go there. Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make his head cut off, like editing. Like I could have done it. I could have figured it out probably, but
you would have figured it out.
I would have figured it out. Would it have looked good?
Photoshop
no, but that's even better. But, that was an idea that I tinkered with, but ultimately, I think what came out was the best version of what that film was ever going to be.
No, I think it was amazing. And I think that...
And if you guys disagree, if you like the original script, I'm sorry that it didn't get made, but I think it was for the best.
Maybe you can make it sometime. We can get a secondary.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
And maybe that's one that stays dead. But no, I mean, honestly, I'm proud of you for thinking it through and going through it and making a very informed and mature decision.
I remember talking with Andrew about it because like I totally gave Andrew like a totally bogus idea when we were talking about our films. Because I told him at some point I was like, look, like I had to change my script because it was too much. So I gave him this bogus idea that I was gonna do. It was just something I came up with out of thin air. But even he was like, oh, like I don't know. He's like, man, like after you told me that, like I don't know if my film's appropriate. He was like, you know what, I'm going to go with it anyway. And I was like, whatever. Do what you want to do.
Andrew's, I think, pegged.
It towed the line. It
towed the line. It definitely didn't cross in. I mean, no. What you were describing crosses into. I mean, you very rarely see any films start dealing with pregnant women.
Yeah,
Very
my
often.
film definitely crossed moral boundaries.
Yeah, that was a.
Whereas Andrew's just towed the line, and it was just really funny.
It was really funny.
Mine would
It
not
was
have
very-
been funny.
It was very witty.
Yeah.
Andrew's was witty, and I think there's a difference between witty, somewhat crass humor versus like something that's just pushing a boundary.
Yeah, like it would have been funny
It
in
would
the
have been
moment.
funny, and it would have been bizarre.
Yeah,
and it would have been unexpected.
it would have been so shocking, and like everybody would have cracked up. But like it would not. The film would not have aged well at all if I had gone that route. So yeah. I mean, Andrew's film was great.
I loved Pegged.
So
Pegged was amazing.
I thought we had a great battle there. I'm glad that he went the direction that he did with it because it was so creative. It was so good. The editing that he did with it. I mean, he's fantastic at everything he does. Everybody's so talented. It's crazy just how talented everybody is.
Oh, it's amazing. So speaking of that, we'll wrap up the podcast with kind of what was your favorite film from
My
this past year?
favorite film from this past year. Oh my gosh. Let's see. So we had I can't even think of the names of them. We had Perfect.
Perfect was.
I'm not going to try and name them all because I don't want to leave anybody out. That was the first one that came to me because that was the first one that we watched. I loved Paul's. I voted for Paul's for Golden Dewey.
Oh, did you?
Not just because I was in it, but it was. I mean, it's always fun to vote for the films you're in. Yeah. But it was so good. The Avatar references, like I love Avatar.
The Avatar references were great.
Like being on the water was so cool. Like having that having that like boat out there. It was such a unique setting. And it was just that whole like middle montage that he did there was just so creative. It was so
very
fun.
creative.
And it was the perfect mix of funny and touching. Like what I tried to do. And Paul, like everything that I did right in End of the Bloodline 2, Paul just did so perfectly, like he always does, because he's Paul. Not perfect, but I mean, it was.
He did it. It came across really, really well.
He nailed what he was going for, and it was just such like a feel good. It was such a feel good film, and I think it just encompassed like all sorts of emotions, and I loved it. It was fun to be on. Yeah, I would say that Paul's was my favorite from this last year, and it was so different from like all the other films that people have made too.
It was.
Yeah.
Very, I mean, I was very curious to see what he would come up with because getting the like theme of filler episode is like where do you go?
Like, what do you do?
Yeah, and so I thought he did a very good job of doing that because like I mean. If we're going by like anime tropes, like there's a number of different filler episodes. A lot of times, like a beach episode is a filler episode. Honestly, I was half expecting him to like try to get us all to go to the beach or something.
Yeah.
And it would just be like the party room like guy, all the party room guys like at the beach, and it was just going to be a beach episode.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like something like that would make sense.
But like you watch it and it's like no, like I could definitely see this being a filler episode in a series about Sam and Squire Steven.
Squire Steven, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that he executed that beautifully.
Oh, it was so good. And Levi,
Trevor's so funny.
Trevor was hilarious. Levi was great.
Levi did a great job.
The campfire scene was so fun. I mean, me and Trevor were joking because like we had that smoke blowing in our eyes, and Paul was like, "Oh, you guys like be sad," and like we just had that smoke blowing in our eyes. Like Paul, like we're doing this for your film. We're gonna cry for your film. Yeah, it's easy. It is really easy to say that one because it was something that I was involved in. But I just loved it so much. Like when we were working on it, we just had so much fun doing it, and then seeing it all put together was like, wow, like we had so much fun on this, and then it was just so good. Yeah, Paul's was probably my favorite. What else? I mean, I loved every single one of them. Levi was fantastic.
Levi
was so great. The difficulty of that one and how they executed it was just so incredible.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that he did a great job. Trevor, as usual, like, I mean, Trevor
La Plumiere.
Well, no.
Are you talking about him in Tick Tick?
In Tick Tick.
Yeah.
Did a great job. Callie's hilarious. Callie has that like dead stare.
Yeah.
Down pretty well.
It was good to see more wives in the films this year too.
Yeah, no, I think we did see more,
Yeah.
or at least more that we hadn't seen before. Because like Ellen's been in. Like,
She's been in a
almost
lot. I think
every one of
Ellen's been
yours.
in. Ellen's
I think,
the most featured wife. Yeah.
And then Heather was in a couple this year. 'Cause
Yeah.
she was briefly in yours.
Yeah.
She was
In Pegged.
Pegged. And
she was in
She
yours.
was in Le Plombier, and
Yeah.
she was in mine.
Yeah.
So she was in several this
I think
year.
Heather was the most featured wife this year, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think she was in more films this year than any of the other wives. Not the most featured actor, because I think that probably would actually go to Zach.
I think
this
so.
year.
Yeah.
Because Zach was in. He wasn't in his own, but he was in.
He was in mine.
Tanner's. He was in yours. He was in mine. He was in Pegged. He was in Le Plombier. So that's 5.
Yep.
I don't think anyone else beat that.
I don't think so. We're probably totally off on this, but
We might be.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was a really good year overall. For
It was
everybody.
really good.
Yeah.
It was interesting seeing Andrew's statistics and how year 3 seems to be like the fan favorite year.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to Tanner about this, and I think that part of it is the fact that like that year all of the films were finished. Like we and sometimes it happens. But like I know Tanner's, no, not Tanner's. What am I getting? Matt's wasn't able to finish his. I know somebody.
Well, that was his Bargain Batman year 3.
No.
You're talking about
I'm
this year?
This year.
You're talking about this
Matt
year.
didn't finish his.
Yeah.
Mitchell didn't have like a real submission.
Yeah.
And
I
like
still love Mitch's submission though. I watched it the other day and I was
yeah.
like, this is like really funny. Like I
need to watch
enjoyed
it again.
Yeah.
I watched. So now I've seen yours again, and
Yeah.
I've seen. I watched Pegged recently, actually, just for fun.
I watched
And I watched Le Plombier recently. Actually.
I watched Rex Moriendum a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Jacob's film. That was really good. I
need to
liked
watch
it a
that one
lot.
again.
Then I watched Obligation was one of them. And what was the other one? I watched a third one. I don't
I
remember
apologize for my dog chewing.
Yeah,
like
that's-
loudly on his toy.
which. Yeah. Oh well.
But
There was a third one that I watched. I can't remember what it was, but Rex Moriendum was really good as well. They're also good. I think year three's definitely the best. Ironically though, I think year 3 was my worst year because that was game night, which
that was still really fun.
I would definitely put that at the bottom of all 4 of mine.
Let's see. You had Into the Bloodline,
Metal Weird Solid,
Metal Weird Solid, Game Night,
and then the Bloodline 2. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah. Well,
4 pretty solid submissions.
very solid
but
submissions, yeah.
Game night didn't turn out like nearly like I wanted it to, but it is what it is.
I
Yeah.
still think it was very, very fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for this year, and I can't wait.
I can't wait to get you in one of my films. That'd be
I'm
so
hoping
fun.
I'm hoping. I mean, my schedule's always weird, but I'm hoping to make time to be more available for people.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, and like I said, like I really want to like be a part of making your film this year because I wrote it, and because I'm excited to see how it goes. But I think it'll be really fun.
I'm so scared. But so excited. So scared and so excited.
I think you will enjoy it, and you will be like, "Oh, you!" about the like dilemma that I was talking
Yeah.
about. It won't like you won't be really mad about it. It'll just be like, "Oh, come on."
I was like, come on, why do you make me do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait.
So, but yeah, no, I'm really excited for Party Room. Anything you want to ask or add to the end here?
Oh, anything that I want to ask or add? I don't know. I mean,
Anyone you want to call out this year?
I want to call it Mitch. I want Mitch to go all out this year. Not because I don't think he can, but I really want him to go all out this year. I know that he hated being like having to miss last year.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that he submitted something because it was a lot of fun watching it and having him still have a film involved. But Mitch, whoa, that was loud. Mitch,
Sorry, Haru.
you go all out this year. find an idea, stick with it, go all out, put all your free time into it. August will be okay. August can be the star. I mean, he was the star of the show last year. Yeah. But Mitch, I'm challenging you. I'm calling you out. Go all out this year. Do something fun. Do something you're proud of. And it'll be a lot of fun. Don't care what anybody else thinks. Make what you want to make. Even if it's LePage 2,
and
do
ask
it.
for help. I'm like an hour away from you. I will help. I will help make it happen. I have resources. Like, Sam will come help. Like,
yes.
Come up with something and like
stick
make
with
the
it.
effort to
stick
execute.
Your first idea. Just stick with it. Go with it.
I'm guilty of it too. I'm 100% guilty of it too. Like, I mean,
huh?
I'm the only person who only has 3 films submitted. Actually, no.
Well, you're the only 4-year guy to have 3 films submitted.
Correct.
There you go. Yeah.
But you just chewed a chunk off that, didn't you, bud? Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Dogs, come on.
It's a good thing that isn't just a visual, or this isn't just an audio podcast.
Yeah.
He also has some visual, because that would have been really random.
It would have been really random, but we'll have zoomed in on him by now. Yeah. And now he's gone. Just left us.
No dog.
Bye.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what was
for help, Mitchell?
Yeah, I guess, if you have any, if I haven't go to, like, what was your favorite film from this last year?
I loved Pegged.
Yeah.
I loved Pegged.
It was great.
Yeah. And like I do love the campiness of like the Party Room Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like I year one and all the films are like, they're goofy, they're weird, they're like that weird sketch comedy side of like early YouTube that like I think was hilarious when it was. I like, I mean, you've seen my films, obviously. Like, I want to push to make bigger stories and bigger things and make things that are a little bit more visually interesting. Yeah. And so, like, I thought Pegged was really, really good because it married kind of the two really well. Like, Andrew is an incredible cinematographer.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, he has such a beautiful eye for...
Great story writer.
Great story writer. Yeah. He's incredibly
Triple
talented.
Threat all the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just a pity he works in politics. But and so seeing that and seeing, like, despite the limitation of only shooting on phones and stuff like that, like, something really truly beautiful and well put together came out of the Party Room Film Festival. And like I love that, like, there's a lot of films that are made on like inside jokes and like silly things, and like that's a lot of fun too. But like I personally like, and I always feel like I'm agreeing with Mitch all the time, which isn't bad inherently, but come on, it's Mitch. Like, I want to do something big, and so I end up getting in my own way sometimes. But I thought Pegged was really, really good, and kind of shows what, like, Pegged, Kill Happy. Zach's film this year was
Power of Friendship.
Power of Friendship was great. I loved that idea of, like, I got friend zoned, kind of thing. Like, I get that, and I thought that was really good. And some of those films do such a good job of, like, okay, like, yeah, we're limited and we're just making films for ourselves, really. But we can do things bigger than just, I don't know,
than just the funny,
the funny, goofy sketch comedy kind of thing. We can do bigger things, and I just like that idea of, like, okay, let's really, like, push to make it as big as we can go beyond the inside jokes and make something that's more. I don't know. I think that's really cool, and so I really liked Pegged for that. I also thought it was hilarious. I mean,
it was so
I was excited about it already because Heather had talked loosely about it. She didn't really reveal anything about it.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, every now and then, like, I'll just have fugue around and find out in my head. Like, it's such a great line.
It was such a good line, and the riffing at the end.
Yeah.
It was so funny hearing Heather, like, talk about it afterwards. It was so much fun.
We spent so much time talking about Andrew's films. Like, he's gonna love. This is gonna be Andrew's favorite podcast by far, because we talked about how great his film is. We talked about Rocky music.
I can't wait to see what he comes up with for this year.
Yeah,
like, every time. I love Andrew's films. I would love to work with him more. and hopefully we'll get the opportunity to do that this year maybe.
Here's another thing, and if we're going too long, then we can cut this short. So like we added the poster award.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we had the poster award last year. Last 2 years we had that poster award.
Yep.
What is something else that like you would like to see like implemented into the Party Room Film Festival? Whether it's like a rule or like another like side project. Like we have the trading cards.
The trading cards are fun.
We have the podcast. We've got maybe the Wires are doing something. What's like the next like branch for Party Room Film Festival in your opinion?
Something that I think would be fun, and I don't like it would probably be really hard to do, but I think it might be fun to like we've got so many guys that are really talented. Like if it was possible, it'd be really cool for like if we could all take like a week off work and like work like through a year, work on something together, like and make like a 30-minute short film.
Yeah. And
like do a bigger project together as a group would be really fun. I don't know how realistic that is.
Yeah.
I know Andrew was talking at one point about that it might be fun to make Pegged into a real short film.
Yeah.
And shoot it with like a cinema camera and
that would be cool.
And actually like do that. That would be really, really cool. Yeah, I don't know. So something like that. I mean, any excuse to work with you guys is fun. I mean, even just chatting and doing stuff over like Discord and stuff like that has been so much fun. And I'm so looking forward to doing the podcast with all you guys. And hopefully I'll be able to do it in person with everybody. So we'll see.
See, I was thinking like that was a much more fledged idea. I was thinking like we make a commercial and just like we buy like a time slot at like 3:30 in the morning for some channel. And then we all just like watch it, and like everybody, all the random people are just like, "What is this?"
We could just make a Party Room Film Festival commercial pointing to the YouTube and see what happens,
and put it on like put it in like the
a random time slot.
Yeah, put it in like the Indianapolis like time zone or whatever.
Yeah,
or whatever. I don't know. That would be funny.
No, that'd be funny. No, I don't know.
I love that people come up with different ideas. Like we have the trading cards. Jacob started the podcast, handed off to you.
Yep.
Trevor made those hats last year. That was really cool.
I still need to get my hat from Tanner.
Yeah, I love seeing like everybody just come up with a new thing to add onto it. Like it's the more there is, the better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm so excited for this year. It being the 5th year is amazing.
The perv year.
I'm so excited to go back to Zach's parents' place and camp, and I'm hoping that. Like I'm hoping to take like a couple days off and like be able to be there like through the full weekend, and really like spend some time with everybody and like eat good food, hang out.
It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun
really
getting together with everybody.
No, I'm so excited. So. Yeah, thank you so much, Sam.
Yeah, thanks for surprising me.
Giving me a place to stay.
Yeah.
Giving us a place to stay.
I knew you guys were coming down this weekend, but I didn't know that we were going to be doing this. Yeah, so obviously you can't tell by my reaction at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm good.
It was awesome. Yes, the podcast is happening, everybody.
The podcast is happening.
Of course, by this point, you already know that, but the podcast is happening.
Yep, and Andrew, the timer seat is hilarious because... earlier tonight, he just told you that he wasn't sure if it was happening or not.
Yeah.
So, via Discord. So,
but I will still be playing that up,
and he knows now, and he's probably going to keep throwing smokescreen.
Today is February 9th, and it is currently 9:30.
Perfect. We've been at this for right about an hour and a half.
Oh, awesome.
So
more Sam content. Let's go.
More Sam content. Yes. Like we need any more Sam content.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this.
Thanks.
And look forward to the next one.
Thanks, Cody. All right. Are we not doing the hanging out with my family?
We should do that. Thank you. Yep. I forgot. I'm just hanging out.
Just hanging out with my family.